Hi guys, Jay Smith here, welcome to the AskGolfNut channel and welcome to my favourite PXG iron so far. It's the PXG 0317 ST. It's the milled blade. I don't know what the ST means, the slim tour, because this does look very, very similar to the 317T, which is their player's distance iron, and absolutely you can blend them seamlessly with those because only 1 degree loft of difference between the tour and the mill blade. 33 degrees of loft, no different to that of the CB, which I've already done. This one is going to be my favorite. If you've watched the CB video and think there's not much tech involved in that, as little involved in this one, it's basically a blade. The one thing it has got, which I really want to say, and every single review that I've done of the iron so far, I will continue to talk about this because it's such an important point. It is such an amazing thing that PXG do. That little weight at the back, that round thing that some people like and some people don't, that is an amazing thing because in the custom fitting, you can change the swing weight. Golfers don't think about swing weight, and swing weight is so important when it comes to understanding where that head is in 3D space, where that face is aligned relative to path in 3D space. It can affect your strike, it can affect loads and loads of things, and the fact that PXG can change that within a fitting. Every other manufacturer can do it within custom when it comes to build. You can select if you want your golf club, say D2 or D3 or C9 or whatever it be, but it cannot be done during the fitting, which is amazing and brilliant. Top lines are, now we are talking proper thin. Where you look at the CB and the Ts, because they are thicker than you actually look, but heavily chamfered, this is just thin. It just looks lovely. The sole, it's thin. Blade lengths, they're small. They just look lovely. Down by the golf ball, it's the smallest one of all the range. You put all the range by the side, it's just, you can tell which one's the ST. The blade just looks great. Right, we're at the same hole. 33 degrees of loft is 170 yards or so to the pin. It's exactly the same as the CB. They're designed to blend. And even with this being the full-on blade, if you go full-on to long irons, unfortunately, even then, I think it blends into the CB. So it's not a bad idea. I don't think any golfer, unless you're kind of Rory speed, that you can actually use functionally a 3-iron in a blade. Right, let's go give it a hit because I'm looking forward to this one because this is absolutely going to be my favorite for looks and feel. How does it perform? Well, that's not the ideal strike, not plumb on. And that's the great thing with this, you can feel exactly where you hit it. But as you can see, works fairly well. Yeah, strike's not great, 7mm toe, 3mm low, but path is decent, 1.7 from the inside, face is 1.8 close, little baby draw dynamics. Not bad at all, 37 yards in the air and 50 degrees descent angle, 49.6 if you round it up. But it's working very, very well. 164 carry. Now these being 33 degrees of loft, I would expect this one on a nominal hit to go around about the 168 mark, give or take, and it just feels great. I've gone from the Black Ops to the XP, and you go to Black Ops, this is the biggest, it's their cast, it's their full-on distance, full-on tech, hollow-bodied, lovely, and of course it does make a little bit of a sound. And then you move to XP, then the P, and then you progressively get smaller, progressively get a little bit nicer sounding feeling, and then you go to the T and it starts to now feel very, very nice. Not a lot of people, they'll go straight to the 311s and go, right, I'm looking at 311s and ignore the 317. You shouldn't. The 317 CB, and if you haven't seen the video on that one, have a look at that one. One of the most forgiving golf clubs. It just does so well. At the moment, it's one of the most forgiving of all the range. And that's a CB. But this thing just feels great. I'm gonna hit about 5 shots with this, and that's it, because if not, I'll be here all day. Oh, that's toey. Now we're going to be testing the blade out for old forgiveness off the toe. I think that's done pretty darn well. No difference. Club path 1.4 from the inside, 1.9 close. That's why it's fractionally too far to the left. A little baby overdraw, not bad whatsoever. 11mm toe, 0mm high. So just toey. I just hit it off the toe. 37 yards in the air, nearly 50 degrees cent angle, 49.5. 50 degrees rounded up, working really well. That's nearly ½ an inch off the toe and 166. Blades aren't forgiving. They're more forgiving than you think. You don't have to button this out the middle. It's nicer if you do, absolutely. You can definitely feel it. And that's one thing I will take away from doing all the range like I've done it. There is a progressive feeling as you go from Black Ops all the way down to the blade. You feel the feedback you get from where you hit it on the face. You can really detect to the nth degree where you hit it on these things. Where you go to the sort of XP, where you've got that marauding steel face with a big hollow bodiedness to it, and no different to that of the Black Ops, because it's such a big golf club and the sound is so high and loud relative to the blade. You can't necessarily detect that. But this, you can absolutely know exactly where you're hitting it on the club face. Again, that's slightly toey. Having a little toey day with this, with the old, oh, don't go down the bunker. Go on, oh. Pretty darn decent, just slightly over closed face, but then again, that's that toe again. 1.2 from the inside, 1.7 closed, so a little baby over closed delivery, but 9mm toe. I definitely am having a little toey day with one of these, but 169 yards carry, 38 yards in the air, 50 degrees descent angle. You just really can't complain. That is not middle. Yet it's doing a darn decent job. And it's me at the moment. I'm the missing link of when it comes to being able to apply a decent strike, but it doesn't matter. It's still doing really, really good. Now we'll be testing this at 70, 80 and 90 miles an hour. Of course, people will completely ignore this, but they shouldn't. And it's one of the best golf clubs that PXG make. So it'll be interesting to see how well it works anyway when you start taking some speed away. I'm at 91.7 miles an hour, so I'm basically fully warmed up now. So 169 within reason, within a yard or so, is exactly the distance I would expect it to go. Low on the face, but no problem whatsoever. This is really very, very good. I only lost 3 yards and it's slightly low on the face. You can hear it and feel it. 0.8 from the inside, 1.7 close. That's why it's starting to start. I'm having a little bit of a drawy day, but it's not bad at all. 2mm toe, 7mm low, not great strike at all, especially low on the face. Is now only peaking up at 36 yards in the air and still going in at 49.3 degrees descent angle. 1.6 is going to stop. Absolutely is going to stop, and you don't have to hit middle. I'm showing you don't have to hit middle because I'm not having the greatest strike on this one, even though this is the one that I will always prefer. It looks the best, it feels, well, definitely feels the best when you hit it in the middle. Not necessarily when you're hitting it 7mm low. But right, last one, let's see if I can get it in the middle and see if we can get a half decent, accurate result. Oh, it's gonna leak to the right, it's a shame. One of the best strikes of the lot, but I mean, you take that still all day long. Pin high or just beyond pin high. Decent shot. Club path, 0.5 from the inside, there's my face, leaving it just baby open, 4mm toe, so still fractionally toe, but I can't complain at all. 38 yards in the air, 50 degrees descent angle, 166. It's just doing a really good job subject to me. Strikes on there were probably one of the most varied of all the 317 range that I've tested. So let's go give this one a hit all over the face, toe, I've done that a few times, heel and also low, lower than what we've seen. See how it really works off wonderful strikes and weird ones that we really shouldn't hit, but we do. Let's also test it 70, 80, 90 miles an hour as well to see how well it works when we start taking some speed away. And let's go see how well this PXG 0317 ST milled blade gets on. All the shots now hit with the PXG 0317 ST, the milled blade, the one that I like the most. And so we've got the information at 3 different swing speeds, and we've also got the forgiveness data as well. We'll have a look at the forgiveness data in a sec. Let's go look at the screen, and we have the 3 different data sets. We've got the clubhead data underneath. We'll look at that one in a sec. But you've got the red, the yellow, and the blue. The red is 70 miles an hour, the yellow is 80 miles an hour, and the blue is 90 miles an hour because we all don't swing at the speed of a tour player. So let's go see how well it works from 70 miles an hour. Carry distance 129, which is not bad whatsoever. This is a 33 degree lofted 7-iron, no different to that of the CB. Those two golf clubs are designed to blend seamlessly. But then again, the T model is only at 32, so it's only 1 degree difference. So you can blend those models really well. 129 yards, doing really well, peaking up at 22 yards, pretty darn decent, and descent angle 41.6 degrees. It is functional. Absolutely no problem with that whatsoever. Would I go to a 6-iron? Probably not, because you're going to go into the 30s, and any golf ball going into a green in a 30-degree descent angle is going to be lap of the gods, whether it's going to stop or not. And in summertime, you're going to have hard greens. You're going to need as much descent angle as you possibly can do. 45 degrees is the magic number. Anything between 40 and 45 degrees is normally okay. As soon as you go into a 30-degree, you're going to have a problem. It's going to be going into a green, really shallow. It's going to bounce, skip out the back, just wave to it as it disappears out into the rough, bunker, or whatever is behind the green. If you go to 80 miles an hour, the yellow, you haven't got a problem at all because you're going 151 yards at Gary, peaking up at 30 yards in the air and descending at 46.4 degrees. 7 irons, absolutely functional. 6 iron, no problem whatsoever. That'll be a 44 degrees or so. And then you could possibly have the conversation about a 5 iron. You are going to be looking at 41 degrees, maybe lucky 42. But they are going to be good hits. All of these numbers are good hits. As soon as you start mishitting them, then you are absolutely going to be compromised a little bit in your peak height descent angle. So just bear that in mind. 80 miles an hour, yes, definitely a 6 iron, possibly a 5 iron. Would you have a 4 iron? Absolutely not. Go to 90 miles an hour, 168 yards to carry, peaking up at 38 yards in the air, and 50 degrees descent angle. No problem at all, absolutely none. I could then go quite easily at 90 miles an hour. You could go to 6 iron, no problem, 5 iron, no problem. And again, that 4 iron discussion, it'll be up to you and your fitter. Personally, I wouldn't, I don't. I go into a hybrid because it just gives me a little bit more options when it comes to the flight that I can hit it. Clubhead data, you can see the clubhead speed, 70.6, 80.4, 90.3. So within 0.3 of a mile an hour, the 10 mile an hour jumps. Everything is exactly how it should be. Tack angles within 0.3 of a degree. Club path is within 0.6 of a degree. That's it. Face to path, half a degree, yeah, and loft 0.2 of a degree between all 3 data sets. Pretty okay. We won't get too upset over 0.2 of a degree. You've got my strike on there as well. Very quickly, if you go by the ball and club compare screen, you can visually see the graphical representation of what we've just been talking about. Some people prefer that than they do tabular data. So that's why I have it on there. Again, you can pause the video should you wish, and then come back to it once you finish. Let's go see how well it works from weird and wonderful hits. I have got one here out the middle, so we need to understand how it works basically out of the middle, and then you can ascertain how things don't quite work when you stray away from where you should hit it. We've got one here, 90 miles an hour, basically clubhead speed. We've got face and path of very 0-0. Everything is fairly benign delivery. 3 mil low, 2 mil hill, so not absolutely perfect on the strike, 1.33 efficiency. Peak height 37 yards in the air, and descent angle was basically 50 degrees, doing every single thing that I would expect it to do. But what happens when you don't hit the middle? When you don't hit the middle, we need one of these, and it's a heat map. Now, all of these heat maps can be seen by my YouTube members when it comes to comparing them against all the other golf clubs, the current golf clubs which I have tested, and I've got the heat maps up on my YouTube members. So if you want to go have a look at that one, go on to join, and this bronze level memberships will get access to all of the comparison files, etc. So you can put one golf club up against another and see which one may work better for your strike position. But you can see you've got the heat map on the top there. You've got the line at the top. We've got 0 at the very top, and then goes to -22. -22 is on the right hand side is the heel. We're looking at the golf club from face on, and on the left hand side you've got +22. That is the toe, and then you've got a high and also low as well. And if you wonder what that blue line is the turf interaction line. Please don't hit the golf ball above that line, 5 or 6 millimeters high, because you will be interacting with the ground first. But you can see the green blob is not bad. Remember, this is a blade. They're supposed to be the least forgiving options of every single option there is. You've got game improvement irons, you've got players distance irons, you've got players irons, and obviously the blades are the ultimate in the players elite. However, that green is not bad whatsoever. Is it as good as the CB? No, it's not. The CB, if you haven't watched that video, stands out as one of, if not the best PXG iron they make. And that's cavity back. Right, if you go to 22 millimeters toe, let's say 0 mil high, 5%, that is how much you are going to lose from your efficiency, from your ball speed, if you hit it 22 millimeters. I mean, 22 millimeters is still a lot. I mean, that's nearly a cool inch away from middle. And remember, this golf club's a blade. It's not that big. As you can see there, that is the graphic which all my members will see as a comparison against the other golf club which they can choose to compare it against. You can see that red strip. That red strip basically says if you hit me there, you can hit me there if you want, and there is a certain amount of trampoline effect there. The problem is you've also got a hosel, and that hosel will interact with the golf ball at around about 20 millimeters. If you go 21, 22, 25, 26, full on 26 millimeters, you are going to be shanking it. It'll be a full on hosel rocket, and it will just shoot off at a weird, wonderful angle. If you go 21, 22 millimeters, there will be an input, shall we say. There'll be a slight deflection from it. So you really do not want to be hitting it on the heel. But you can see how it works. That green blob, and then it radiates into yellow, into orange, into red. And considering this is a blade, it's doing really quite good. There is a decent size green blob there. This is generally for elite players, even though I don't like that. It's the fact that they'll be hitting the middle within reason, and the fact that you can go even as far as 22 millimeters away from middle and only lose 5 or so %. The interesting thing is, if you put that into a graphic where you can understand how well this golf club works in the real world when you've got a forced carry. Many golf clubs have holes where you have forced carry, whether it be water in this case, or whether it be something in the realms of bunkers or heather or anything else like that. There are plenty of situations and such. So this is 155 yards hole. You've got a green of 27 yards deep as an average kind of green, and the pin's in the middle. You can see that on the table, you've got the top there is in yards and the bottom one is in meters, because we all measure things slightly differently. But if you go 155 yards, which this one is measured on, and you are going to be missing by, let's say, 3%, which is going to be a nominal miss from, say, the toe, you're going to be having a 14 or so foot putt, which is fine. You can see by the graphic on the right hand side that you're going to be hitting the green, no problem, and you'll be fine. If you start moving it even further and go to 10%, let's say 155 yards, it will go down to 47 feet. 47 feet is a long old way. That's 16 or so yards, and the problem is you are going to be missing the green and you are in the drink. That is not good. That will absolutely ruin your scorecard. And so there are golf clubs out there which are far more forgiving than others generally, and also far more forgiving in certain areas, whether it would be the toe, whether it would be low, or whether it would be heel. Try not to be heel. And so you can absolutely marry your known miss. If you're a toe strike of the golf ball, or you thin it as a miss, you absolutely can channel your equipment choices towards golf clubs which work better for you. That's the reason why I do the compare files. That's the reason why I do the heat maps, to really give you an understanding of how well golf clubs work. So, conclusion to the PXG 0317ST mill blade. Yes, long name. From a aesthetics point of view, okay, some people don't like PXG's aesthetics. They don't like that circular weighting system they've got in the back there. Personally, I love it on the basis of its practicality. Not its aesthetics, its practicality. Being able to change swing weight in the fitting is brilliant, like properly good. It really adds another element into the fitting process, which actually is incredibly important. Swing weight is massively important. Feel wise, lovely. Can't fault it. Feels just what I want a golf club to feel like. It's a forged blade. It just feels lovely. Performance, let's be honest, it does every single thing that a blade is designed to do. It's 33 degrees of loft, so it's near on traditional loft, not quite, but it's near on traditional loft, and it goes a distance I expect a 33 degree lofted blade to go. Forgiveness, it is pretty darn decent for a blade. We're expecting a blade, that little green blob there, to be finitely tiny, and actually you can get away with some interesting shots on this blade and go quite toey and quite poor on your misses before you really see a distinct drop off in the distance that it will give. So hope you liked the video. If you did, go on, give it a big old thumbs up, hit that like button. YouTube likes, so do I. Down there is a subscribe button. Please, if you could subscribe, it's great for the channel, so thank you very much if you could. Next to that one is the bell icon. That's a notification bell. If you click that one, that will notify you next time I upload another video. Hope you're well. We'll see you again soon.